we have got a great lineup with guests as well. Our first guest here is Daniel Tolson, who is here to talk to us about how to increase sales from 20 to 30%. So to all our business owners out there, drop everything, get a pen and paper, because we're going to talk to this man here today. He's going to share some of the secrets on how we can increase sales. I know that a lot of you guys out there are fear of selling. We're going to talk to Daniel. He's going to help you conquer your fear.
Hey? You know, Daniel Tolson is the #1 business coach. He has coached over 3,500 companies.
Amazing.
And I was blown away, and also he's consulted with Australia.
Why don't we say hello to Daniel? He's just right in front of us.
He's right here.
Hello, Daniel. How you doing?
I'm fantastic, thanks.
Love the suit.
Thank you.
I love the tie.
Thank you.
Amazing.
What do you call it? That little pin that he's wearing, he's got a little butcher knife.
I reckon that is something got to do with sales achievement. Is that correct?
You got to cut through to the chase, we'll say. You got to cut through to the chase in
Really?
sales. Get to the point.
Cut through the chase. I like that. Okay, let's cut through this conversation. Get straight into the interview. How's that?
We want to know you, Daniel.
That's it.
And our audience want to hear about you and your journey. So tell us. Back in your story, I want to actually start because you were 11 years of age. You had to do a hip alignment operation. Please tell us about that, because I feel that that's your pivot point to your life and changes.
Well, my teachers used to tell me I was stupid.
Yeah.
And they'd say, Daniel will never amount to anything. And they'd remind my mum and they'd remind my dad in the school reports. And eventually I got sick of hearing this, and I thought I was...
Your teacher's actually telling you stupid?
Absolutely.
What kind of teacher is that?
Well, they'd give me D's in my report, and I thought D was for Daniel. It was D for Doug. And the E followed, and that was E for eject him out of the room.
Oh my God.
And the F was for failure.
Were you that naughty though in school?
I was a good student. I wasn't naughty.
Yeah.
I just couldn't learn correctly.
Okay.
So eventually I just thought I was stupid.
Okay.
And the teacher said, well, you're stupid. And one day I walked out to the crossing outside of the school, and I thought, well, if I'm that stupid, I may as well put myself and everybody else out of their misery.
Yeah.
So I just stepped out onto the road in front of the car.
Oh, far out. Are
But,
you serious?
They were right. I was stupid because I did it at a zebra crossing. and the car stopped.
And the car stopped. That's called smart. It's not stupid. It's interesting though, to our listeners out there, Daniel actually handed over a book to us, How to Win Sales Now. And it's interesting to see that you've actually got a photo of you and your son on the front page, and a photo of your whole family in the back of the book there as well. It's interesting because I know a lot of people don't actually do that. So what was your thought process of actually putting your family into this book, man?
Well, my wife was the best sale I've ever made. And,
Okay. What's your wife's name?
Nini.
Nini, is it? Is she listening in?
She should be listening in.
Hello, Nini.
And there's a lot of objections in the sales process. You've got to overcome these objections to get the sale.
Okay.
So when I was working with my wife, we were living in Dubai, and we were on a flight to Johannesburg in South Africa. And I got to know her a little bit, and I asked her out on a date, and I got my first rejection. And in sales, we know that most salespeople give up before the very first attempt.
That's
So
right.
true.
Very
Yes,
persistent.
yes.
So I had to get her attention. So I stole her Hello Kitty drink bottle. And then she said, where's my drink bottle? And I said, well, you'll have to talk to me. She said, you can keep the drink bottle.
She's very hard to get. She's very hard to get. I like her. That's good.
Eventually I got through all the objections, and I said, I'd like to take you out on a date. She said, I've been on heaps of dates. What's so special about yours?
Wow.
And this was the biggest objection, and I said, well, it'll be the last one you ever go on. And she looked at me like I was a serial killer. And I said, I don't think that came out so well. And she said it didn't. It was a bit creepy. And I said, okay, well, I promise that I'll take you on the best date you've ever been on. And it's so good you won't want to go out with anybody else.
So let's talk to us about sales. I mean, let's get straight to the point, Daniel. So we do know that a lot of people hate sales. A lot of business owners, they have the fear factor of actually going there, knocking the door, picking up the phone. What's the first rule in sales?
The first rule of selling is that you have to accept rejection as part of selling. And 99% of the population have a fear of failure, and a fear of rejection, and a fear of criticism. So you have to just accept that it's part of selling. And you're going to face a lot of rejection. And if you accept it as part of the process, and that you'll get more no's than yeses, that's the first place to start.
How can you change that mindset?
First one is through the law of substitution. Our thoughts predict 95% of our feelings. And thinking about getting a no triggers off the feelings and the fear of rejection. And it's only a thought.
Okay.
And most people are avoiding that feeling.
Yes.
But they don't take action.
So
once that feeling comes up, they go into avoidance behaviours, and they go and make coffee, they go to the bathroom, they fix their tie, they fix their shirt, and by 3 o'clock, they're ready to go home. So according to all the studies, the first sales call on average is made at 11 a.m. in the morning. So the first 2 hours of the day are wasted.
Wow.
For an 8-hour day, only 90 minutes is spent face-to-face.
You know why? Because the first 2 hours they've been checking the Instagram, the Facebook, the email before they even pick up the phone.
But people don't know how to set up their day, though.
Yeah, time management is also very important, isn't it?
Time management is incredibly important with salespeople. If you don't schedule your day, you'll go to a default of procrastination because you say, well, I don't know what to do.
So true, so true. Folks, you're listening to Daniel in the house here. I don't think anyone can handle this, man. And the truth of the matter is a lot of people talk about success, but they don't share their failure. They don't share any of those particular dark days to the audience. And we just had a good conversation with Daniel how life can be up and down all the time, and that's something that we want to be able to share with our audience up there, is that life isn't always that hunky-dory, right, Daniel?
It's never. And we have to face those fears of loss and those fears of abandonment on the way through, and through that you learn so much about becoming successful.
Yes.
It's also to be allowing yourself to be vulnerable, and putting your ego aside. And I've noticed that with you, because you're able to speak about your failures, even though we consider them as challenges, but a lot of people can't bypass that. Anyway, before the break, we were talking about sales.
Yes,
so
that's correct.
What was the other tips? I want to hear about it.
Well, the first one is you have to be very competent in what you do. You have to know your product inside and out. You have to know your service inside and out.
Oh, okay.
And if you as the salesperson have a fuzzy understanding of the features and the benefits and the results and the improvements of what you're selling, it's impossible to begin the conversation.
Yeah.
And when we speak about our products and services, if you don't know 100 words for every word that comes out of your mouth, you will get crucified, because people say you aren't an expert in this product or service. And so we know this, and what we do is we say, I'll avoid the pain and embarrassment, and I just won't ask people.
So to be a good sales agent or a person, do you also need to understand the products inside out, but also you also need to understand your customers' needs and want? Would that be right?
I believe, first of all, you have to get the results with your product and service in your own life.
Okay.
If it doesn't work for you, people look at you and say, so you want to sell me this product and service, does it work for you?
Okay.
And if you say no, they shut down. So you have to get success in your life, but then you've got to make sure that people are using it. And about 85% of the sales that we will make in our businesses come from referrals. And 97% of Australian businesses need referrals to survive, but only 3% have a referral plan in place.
A lot of sales people out there also give the industry a very bad name, right? And a lot of people think salespeople are just really con artists. They're out there to rip people off. Would you have to share with us and sort the record out straight? I mean, a lot of people don't trust real estate agency. A lot of people don't trust sales car people. Is there a difference between car people and is there people who are actually trying to sell business consultancy and real estate?
I think certain people get attracted to certain industries because they can fly under the radar in them for a while. Something like real estate, you can move from town to town, and as soon as you leave one catchment area and you go to another postcode, nobody knows who you are.
So true.
But there's no long-term success in that. There's only long-term success in specialising in a geographical area and owning that space. So when somebody thinks radio, they think your show. If they think real estate, they think that person's name.
Yes.
So you can't fly under the radar for too long. But there's an old saying is that wherever you go, there you are. And like attracts like. So if you're stealing, if you're lying, you're just going to attract those same people. And that's going to be your life.
Well, your business isn't long term then. What you want is people who would want to prosper with you.
That's great.
And Aussies are smart.
Yeah, and that's why a lot of car salesmen get burnt all the time, because they're always wanting to sell to meet their quota. But the issue there then is that they always have to oversell, and then if they under-deliver, someone else will come back and say, well, you actually kind of like told me a fib. I actually bought the car under the circumstances that the car was great, it was running fine, it's not a lemon. 6 months down the track, it broke down. So therefore, the trust has already been broken. So therefore, they won't come back again. That's the issue there, isn't it?
Yep. And most people aren't trained professionally, so they don't know what to do. And if they've been told, hey, just tell the customer whatever they want to hear, they believe that's okay. So it's not just this generation, but it's the generation that came before them.
Yeah.
And then it becomes a meme, it replicates through society. But when you are trained professionally, you learn that the most important word in selling is integrity.
Integrity is so important, that's right.
Now, you were taught by your uncle about sales, wasn't it? What did he teach you?
The first time, well, we had a family news agency,
yeah.
and he said, Daniel, there's the newspapers, there's the door, go make sales.
Yeah.
And I had all these illusions.
Go make sales. That's like a very broad thing.
But then
that was it. I was going to be a millionaire. I was only 9. I'd never have to catch the bus to school. I'd be able to drive a Porsche.
You were only 9.
And I thought that everybody would buy it.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted it because I didn't know what I was selling.
But back then, what do you actually, like, on weekends, you see kids pulling a little trolley, blowing the whistle and selling those paper. Is that the kind of picture there that you were?
That's it.
That's it?
That's it.
Wow.
Well, I don't remember that.
You don't remember that?
Is that before my time?
Hello? You're older than me, man. I'm only 19, right?
The first guy I tried to sell a paper to was at the Vietnamese bakery.
I'm
trying to sell him an English newspaper. And
Okay, he doesn't
even read English. But nobody said,
Bloody hell, you just
this
can't
is
read.
the ideal. Yeah, this is the ideal customer.
Yeah.
That's not the ideal customer.
That's correct.
And if you don't know, it's
Okay.
that unknown.
But because of that, right, because of that little work experience, it actually gave you a lot of understanding about sales and dealing with customers, right?
Well, I knew I had to make sales because once I got good at it, I'd earn $1 a day.
Yeah.
And one day my mum said, why do you give 50% of your wage away? I said, how do you know that? She said, I've seen that after you go to work, you donate 50 cents to the Salvation Army. And that was at age 9.
You were giving back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'd make $1
Yeah,
and
but
I'd give 50 cents because the lady was a nice old lady. And so I knew that if I wanted to give to other people, I had to first create. And you can't give what you don't have. So I'd
true.
make my $1, give my 50 cent away, and then I probably bought gummy bears or something with the other 50 cents.
What a wise investment, Dan. You're buying gumpy bears and chocolate.
This is my station.
Action!
It's just insane and I love it.
Entertainment!
Hey guys, it's Selena Gomez.
Hey, this is Ed Sheeran.
Hey guys, it's Taylor Swift.
Entrepreneurs!
You need to learn this business, and this is the time to do it.
And empowerment!
Become an insider. So you have to know the rules before you get the game.
It's Friday!